71%. That's how many luxury purchases are based on feelings, not products. McKinsey proved it. Which means if you're selling luxury based on features, you're losing 71% of your potential. Hi, I'm Corrado Manenti, and today I'm revealing the exact 5-step formula to create luxury brand experiences that premium clients literally can't resist. This isn't theory, this is the blueprint I use with luxury brands to transform ordinary businesses into emotional empires. And after watching this, you'll know exactly how to engineer experiences worth 10 times what you charge. Here's what most people get wrong about luxury. They think it's about quality, it's not. They think it's about exclusivity, it's not. They think it's about heritage, it's not. Luxury is about one thing, making people feel something they can't feel anywhere else, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Step 1. Define your unique value proposition, but not how you think. Most brands list features: handmade in Italy, premium materials, limited edition. That's not a value proposition, that's a grocery list. Your unique value proposition isn't what you make, it's what you make people feel. Ferrari doesn't sell cars, they sell the feeling of being untouchable. Rolex doesn't sell watches, they sell the feeling of having arrived. Here's how to find yours. Ask yourself, what transformation do my clients experience? Not what product do they receive, what person do they become? McKinsey research shows that 71% of luxury buying experiences are based on how customers feel they're being treated. Not the product, the treatment, the feeling, the transformation. Your UVP should pass 3 tests. First, can you say it in one sentence? Second, does it describe a feeling, not a feature? Third, would clients pay 10 times more for that feeling? If you're saying, we make the best handbags, you've already lost. But if you're saying, we make women feel irreplaceable, now you're speaking luxury. Write this down. Your product is the excuse. The feeling is the product. Step 2. Research your target audience, but not their demographics. I don't care if your clients are 45-year-old executives with 2.5 kids and a yacht. That tells me nothing about why they buy luxury. You need to understand their psychological triggers. What makes them feel inadequate? What makes them feel superior? What story do they tell themselves about who they are? The Journal of Interactive Advertising found that luxury consumers value experiential and social content with unique narratives. They're not buying products, they're buying stories to tell about themselves. Here's what you actually need to know. Their deepest insecurity, the one they'd never admit, their greatest aspiration, the one that sounds ridiculous, their secret fear, the one that keeps them up at night. A tech entrepreneur doesn't buy a Patek Philippe because he needs to know the time. He buys it because he's terrified of being seen as new money. The watch says, I have heritage, when he doesn't. Stop researching wallets, start researching wounds. Because luxury doesn't solve problems, it heals psychological wounds. Create client personas based on emotional drivers, not demographics. The imposter who needs validation. The legacy builder who needs immortality. The phoenix who needs transformation. When you understand the wound, you can position your brand as the cure. Step 3. Design exclusive and personalized experiences. Here's where the magic happens. Personalization isn't using their name in an email. That's amateur hour. Real personalization is knowing what they want before they do. Global luxury research shows clients expect communications and experiences that cannot be replicated elsewhere. Cannot be replicated. That means if 2 clients have the same experience, you've failed. Here's how to create unrepeatable experiences. First, the pre-experience experience. Before they even engage with your brand, the experience begins. Invitation-only previews. Mysterious packages arriving unexpectedly. Whispered recommendations from influencers. You're not marketing, you're creating mythology. Second, the micro-personalization matrix. Every detail adjusted to their specific psychology. The introvert gets private shopping. The extrovert gets exclusive events. The achiever gets first access. The connector gets insider privileges. Third, the impossible moments. Experiences money supposedly can't buy. Close the Louvre for a private viewing. Arrange dinner with an astronaut. Name a star after their child. These aren't services. They're stories they'll tell forever. Visit corradomanenti.it/in-store experience design to learn how we transform traditional spaces into theatrical experiences. Remember, exclusive doesn't mean expensive. It means unrepeatable. And unrepeatable is priceless. Step 4. Train your staff on luxury service standards. But this isn't customer service training. Your staff aren't employees. They're experience architects. They're emotion engineers. They're transformation facilitators. Traditional training teaches what to do. Luxury training teaches how to think, how to read micro-expressions, how to anticipate unspoken needs, how to make someone feel like the only person who matters in the universe. Research in hospitality training shows that combining soft skills with technical competence is crucial. But in luxury, soft skills aren't soft. They're the hardest skills of all. Here's what your staff must master. Anticipatory service, not responding to needs but preventing them. The champagne appears before they're thirsty. The umbrella appears before it rains. The solution appears before the problem. Invisible excellence. The best service is the service clients don't notice. Everything perfect, nothing obvious, like breathing. Essential but unconscious. Emotional architecture. Reading the client's emotional state and adjusting instantly. Excited? Match their energy. Stressed? Become their calm. Uncertain? Become their confidence. Cultural fluency. Not just language but understanding cultural psychology. How Americans, Chinese, Arabs, Europeans all have different luxury triggers. Your training should include method acting. Literally, staff should practice feeling what clients feel, embody their aspirations, understand their fears, become their ideal mirror, role-play impossible scenarios, the client who's never satisfied, the client who says nothing, the client who wants what doesn't exist. Train for the impossible and the possible becomes automatic. Visit corradomanenti.it/in-store experience design to see how we train teams to deliver invisible excellence. Remember, in luxury service, competence is expected. Magic is what you're paid for. Step 5. Implement feedback mechanisms for continuous improvement, but not surveys. Surveys are for businesses that want data. Luxury brands need intelligence, deep psychological, actionable intelligence. Research in experiential value shows that capturing emotional dimensions of experience requires sophisticated mechanisms beyond traditional feedback. You're not measuring satisfaction, you're measuring transformation. Here's how to extract real intelligence. First, the silent signal system. Track what clients do, not what they say. Time spent in store, items touched but not purchased. Return frequency, social media mentions, referral patterns. Actions reveal truth that words hide. Second, the privileged dialogue protocol. Don't send surveys, schedule conversations, not how was your experience, but what did you feel, not rate our service, but describe your transformation. Make feedback feel like an honor, not an obligation. Exclusive feedback sessions, advisory councils, co-creation opportunities. They're not giving feedback, they're shaping the future. Third, the behavioral response matrix. Map emotional responses to specific touchpoints. Where do pupils dilate? Where do shoulders relax? Where do they lean in? Where do they pull back? Use heat mapping in stores, emotion recognition in digital, biometric monitoring in experiences. You're not asking how they feel, you're measuring it. Fourth, the improvement theater. When you implement their feedback, make it visible. You suggested this. We created it. You felt this. We fixed it. They're not customers. They're co-creators. Every piece of feedback should trigger 3 actions: an immediate acknowledgement, a visible implementation, a personal follow-up showing the impact. Remember, in luxury, feedback isn't about improvement. It's about making clients feel heard, and feeling heard is worth more than being satisfied. Now let me tell you the psychology behind why all of this works. Your brain has 2 decision-making systems. System 1 is emotional, instant, unconscious. System 2 is logical, slow, conscious. Guess which one makes luxury purchases? System 1, every time. When you create these 5 elements correctly, you're bypassing logical objections and speaking directly to emotional desires. You're not convincing people to buy, you're creating conditions where buying feels inevitable. The unique value proposition triggers identity validation. This brand understands who I really am. The audience research enables wound healing. This brand solves problems I can't even articulate. The personalized experiences create addiction patterns. I can't get this feeling anywhere else. The trained staff provides social validation. I matter here in ways I don't elsewhere. The feedback mechanisms ensure dependency. I am part of something bigger than a transaction. Together, these 5 steps create what I call the luxury lock-in loop. Clients don't just buy once, they buy forever. Not because they need to, because they need to feel how your brand makes them feel. Here's what's really happening. You're not building a business. You're building a psychological ecosystem where your brand becomes essential to their identity, where leaving feels like losing a part of themselves. Is this manipulation? Maybe. Is it effective? Absolutely. Is it what every successful luxury brand does? Without question. The difference is, now you know the formula. You can either use it or lose to someone who will. The 71% who buy based on on feelings aren't irrational, they're human. And humans will always pay more for feelings than features. Visit CorradoManenti.it to learn how we implement this formula for luxury brands worldwide. Because knowing the formula is one thing, executing it is an art. Remember, you're not in the luxury business, you're in the transformation business, and transformation is the only thing worth paying luxury prices for.